Good morning. Well, not good morning, good evening. It is nighttime here in West Michigan. I'm using one of my newest cameras and I'm using a different setting for movies, and I'm not sure how this will turn out. So I figure I got this camera, I might as well use the settings. So yeah, it's 9:02 at night here in West Michigan. It is November the 27th. It is a Monday night, and my wife went to work after being off a couple of days tonight, and so I just been fiddle farting around, messing with the computer, watching videos, listening to music. I don't really listen to music on my stereo throughout the day. I check out music on YouTube, and I look at Amazon, but I've always been interested in music. It goes back, I've grown up with music. I remember as a child, as a young teenager, and throughout my adult life, I've always listened to music, been curious about music. I'm kind of like into pop culture, American movies, American literature, just interested in cultural history, intellectual history, art criticism, music reviews. I'm just kind of curious about a lot of things. So I thought I'd make a video since it's been 24 hours. Today is a Monday. I did go, this morning I had to go pick up a prescription. I stopped at thrift stores near where I live, and I didn't really see anything. Yesterday I did go out and visit thrift stores, and I found this book, Elaine and Bill, A Portrait of a Marriage, The Lives of Willem and Elaine de Kooning. They were abstract painters in New York City. This is about, they were both abstract painters, and this is about their marriage, the de Koonings, who are very famous in the art world, abstract expressionism. It's about their marriage. And I found this novel, Winter, a novel of Berlin Family by Len Deighton. So I found these things, and I did find this, Keeping Women and Children Last, America's War on Poverty by Ruth Sidel. And I found The Origins of Sectarian Protestantism by Frankin H. Littell, a historian's defense of the Protestants who in the 16th century broke with all Christendom and attempted under heavy prosecution to restore the radical communities of the primitive church. This goes into the Anabaptists, which the Reformers, Calvin and others, they rejected. But this is about the Anabaptists. The Mennonites come out of there and other groups. And then I already had this volume in my library, New Testament Foundations, A Guide for Christian Students, Volume 2, The Acts, the Epistles, and the Apocalypse by Ralph R. Martin. And I found at a thrift store, Volume 1 of the New Testament Foundations, A Guide for Christian Students, Volume 1, The Four Gospels by Ralph R. Martin. I have several books by Ralph R. Martin. When I first started buying academic Christian books, I bought his books. He's a conservative evangelical. I have all kinds of books by him in our library. So I wanted a complete set, so I bought it. Even though this one is almost brand new. This second volume, it's not, but this one is kind of underlined. So you can see it's underlined, but I don't know. I got it for $0.25. So if I see a better copy someday, I'll just get rid of this one. I did mention that I got in the mail 3 novels by Henry Green. I mentioned Blindness, his first novel by Henry Green. And these are the other ones I got in the mail with that one. Party Going by Henry Green and Living by Henry Green. Like I said, other night I started reading Blindness, and I haven't really got into it since then. Today, all I read today, like I said, I've been kind of out of it. This is my diary. I ended on page 1062. And I don't know, the day just got away from me. I don't know where it went. This morning, I got back out of the lower level. This book I was reading a month ago or 2 months ago, Sons in the Sun, The Riches and Reach of Adoption in Christ by David B. Garner. So I read this morning. I read this afternoon, maybe late morning. This morning we went grocery shopping, and then I had to go do errands, get a prescription, and I visit local thrift stores, and I don't know what I did throughout the afternoon. I just kind of just drifted. I did show you these books I got at the Book Nook last Friday. A biography on Genghis Khan by Frank McLynn, and Empires of the Sea by Robert Crowley. I showed these. So I'll take all these books down the lower level. This evening, that's what I did. I was down the lower level, trying to putting books away, trying to get some order and all that chaos down there. So I didn't really read anything. I don't know what I did today. I wrote in my diary. I watched the birds. I read Sons in the Sun. I did look at this book, The Origins of Sectarian Protestantism. I read a little bit of it, The Quest for the Essence of Anabaptism. And I did look at this book, Keeping Women and Children Last, The America's War on the Poor. I looked at that, a couple of pages of that. This novel, I got it for like 50 cents. It says it's called Winter, a novel of a Berlin family. The reason why I got this novel, it takes place during the rise of Nazism in Germany, and it looks at a family who was involved in the Nazism and what life was like in Berlin in the 1920s and 30s. It's kind of historical fiction. And I don't know, maybe someday I'd read it. It just looked interesting. And I got this book on Elaine and Bill because Willem de Kooning is one of the most famous abstract and expressionism painters. His paintings now go for 100 million today. And I like reading about the New York painters, the abstract expressionism, and Jackson Pollock. And it has in here, let me see, it has photos of different painters of that time period. You have Franz Klein, you have Jackson Pollock and Lee Krishner. There's Jackson Pollock, and just a bunch of, it's just about, I like reading about the New York painters in the 40s and 50s, and you get into Andy Warhol in the 60s, late 50s. So that's what's going on in my book world. Not much else going on. Like it's a Monday. I don't know. Tomorrow I might go North Holland and visit thrift stores. or I might just sit here in silence, sit in the presence of God, read my Bible, and time will go by. I have some books coming in the mail. I have a biography on Henry Green coming in the mail. Those who know that when I like knowing the lives of the writers that I read, and I bought used a biography on Henry Green. Henry Green is not his real name. It was his pen name. His real name was Henry Vincent York. He was educated at Eton and Oxford and went on to become a managing director of his family's engineering business, writing novels in his spare time. His first novel, Blindness, written in 1926, was written while he was at Oxford. He married in 1929 and had one son during the Second World War, served in the Auxiliary Fire Service. Between 1926 and 1952, he wrote 9 novels: Blindness, Living, Party Going, Caught, Loving, Back, Concluding. I have Concluding. I had this, I didn't show this, but I do have the novel Concluding by Henry Green. I bought this a while back at some used book sale. So yeah, he wrote, what does it say here? He wrote 9 novels: Blindness, Living, Party Going, Caught, Loving, Back, Concluding, Nothing, and Doting, and a memoir, Pack My Bag. Now all these things are being reprinted. Some by the New York Review Classics, New York Review Books Classics, but also New Directions is publishing his memoir, Pack My Bag, and they're publishing New Directions Concluding. So if I really like these, I might buy the other ones in the coming year or maybe next year, or look for them at used book sales or thrift stores. So yeah, that's what's going on here. Like I said, tomorrow is a Tuesday. We're coming to it. We only got 3 more days in this month, and then we're in the month of December. Tomorrow is the 28th. I'll be on page 1063 tomorrow in my 2017 diary. So I hope you had a good weekend. I thank you for the subscribers. Thank you for those who subscribed and then they watched them and then they left. They found that I wasn't that cool or interesting. But hey, if you just watch one video, I'm really thankful. I do like I said, I like the comments. Feel free to ask me questions. Tell me about your life. Tell me what you're reading. Tell me what you don't like. What you have planned for next month. People do wrap-ups. I don't know if I'll do a wrap-up to be read. I don't know if I'll do any of that. But tomorrow night, my wife is off from... No, my wife is not off from work tomorrow, but she's working, so I might make a video tomorrow night. So I'll sign off, and until next time, bye.